career exploration, as we affectionately call it, the Great ACE. I would like to first thank Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake for being here to lend her leadership of raising awareness of the need for the citizens of Baltimore to focus on healthy eating. Not only will healthy eating help us meet the Mayor's Healthy Baltimore 2015 goals, it will move us in the direction of improving the quality of life for our children. As my dad used to share as a child, many hands make the burden light. So I want to honor the commitment and the work of those who've made this area possible. To the ACE Advisory Board, to the ACE Green Team, to our amazing science department led by Victoria Matthew, to Agritopia, Jean Malott, and our very own William Moeller, and especially my babies, our students, the Great ACE. I also want to thank our operators, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development under the leadership of Karen Sitnick, and her co-operator, Marion Pines, who founded the institution in 2004. I stand proud today of our garden, the small patch of earth brimming with life and abundance that you see before you that once was a parking lot, a toxic piece of blacktop. This is now a symbol of urban expansion. As we begin the process of creating the garden, there were also certain things that I can speak loud enough that I don't need. So, as we begin the process of creating the garden, there were those who were uncertain whether the seedling could grow into a reality. But our community of scholars, my students, nurtured and cared for the garden under the watchful eye group of caring, environment-conscious adults, and fruits and vegetables now grow from a place where once stood asphalt. This has now become a symbol of life. In an era where fried food, sugary beverages, and fats dominate the diets of our children in Baltimore, this garden also grows hope. The hope that students who work in the garden learn how to care for themselves and teach their friends and families how to do the same. The hope that together we can irrigate the food that consumes the lives of the people in the city. The hope that a message of eating healthy food, we can begin to stem the tide against diabetes and heart disease. And the hope that we can begin to ensure that the children of Baltimore do not go to bed hungry. This area where you are standing is nothing but hope. Thank you again for visiting the Great ACE, and I hope this will not be the last time. I now have the privilege of introducing the great mayor of our fine city of Baltimore, the Honorable Stephanie Rawlings-Blake.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Principal Goodlowe, thank you so much for the kind introduction and for all of your hard work and for hosting us here at the Great ACE. It looks like we're being bitten by bugs, and I'm being impacted by seasonal allergies, so I'm going to keep it short. It's wonderful to be here again at ACE a year later to see a beautiful flourishing garden. As I drove up, I remembered the transformation, seeing the transformation take place, and I'm certainly proud to be back and proud of the work that you're doing. Thank you, Baltimore Free Farm, for your leadership in building this food-producing garden from which ACE students can eat fresh and healthy food and learn about how food is produced. Our food landscape is improving with the planting of many fruit trees thanks to Tree Baltimore and the Baltimore Orchard Project. I can't tell you, I have the goal of growing our city by 10,000 families, and the individuals who are attracted to Baltimore because of our urban agriculture movement, they're really helping me grow the city, and I want to thank all of those groups that are doing such incredible work and making a name for Baltimore in the urban ag space. This is an innovative way, this partnership between Tree Baltimore, Baltimore Orchard Project, it's an innovative way for students to have access to affordable and fresh fruits, and we're grateful that you're part of this celebration of healthy, affordable, and sustainably grown food, and for helping make Baltimore a leader in food access. As we work together to make every community in Baltimore better, safer, and stronger. We need to search for, not for that one magic bullet, that one thing that's going to solve all of our problems, but we need to find the right solutions, the group of solutions for every single community. And by doing that and working in partnership, we can get our city growing again. National Food Day is part of a growing national movement that promotes healthy, affordable, and sustainably grown food. And by hosting events like this across the city, we're working to raise awareness for improved food policy at a national, regional, and local level. In Baltimore, we have over 20 amazing events scheduled, too many for one day, so we have chosen to turn National Food Day into National Food Week. I think we're going to be the leader in that as well. I want to take a moment to thank all of our partners for your work in improving the overall health of Baltimore City residents, and a special thank you to our funders at Kaiser Permanente, the Able Foundation, and the Baltimore Community Foundation. Over the past year, many of our partners have helped us make significant progress in our effort to improve the access to fresh and healthy food. The city established Homegrown Baltimore, Grow Local, Buy Local, Eat Local, to support the urban farmers and food retailers in selling local foods to Baltimore City residents, and this has really taken off. As part of Homegrown Baltimore, there are 12 urban farms and 22 hoop houses. Who knows what a hoop house is? One person, not one student knows what a hoop. Yes, what is it? It's a greenhouse for what do you do in there? Yes, and you can do it how many seasons in the year if you have a hoop house? Yep, good job. This morning, the Board of Estimates also approved an agreement for Big City Farms to create a farm on 75 vacant lots in Sandtown, Winchester. And in March, Baltimore became the first to step up and have a food desert map. You know, all of these things, they add up to a broader strategy that's really helping us. And in our schools, we saw an increase in student access to healthy foods. The number of schools participating in the federal fruit and vegetable program increased to 89 schools this year. And Baltimore City schools received $1.8 million from the program, which continues to come up to about $50 per child to have access to, I'm going to turn this down, 1 second. Continues to give us access to fresh fruits and vegetables served as snacks throughout the day. Improving access to healthy food is a long process, but working together with local partners and bringing the national resources, we can make great strides in the coming year. As a symbol of our commitment, we are going to plant a fruit tree. Do we know what type of fruit? Apple. Oh, I love apple trees. Last year, before the asphalt was removed, a few people would have guessed that the school would be a source of fresh and healthy food. I'm telling you, from the first time I was here, you would not have imagined all of this would be possible. So today, because of all of you, we're making it a reality. So now it is my pleasure to introduce Nina, right? My mom spells it the same way, but she says Nina, so I just want to make sure. Nina Beth Cardin from the Baltimore Orchard Project to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Principal Goodlowe. Students, it's so great to be here with you. 100 years ago, Baltimore was a city of orchards. From down in the harbor to just a bit south of here, 150 orchards abounded. They were used for commerce and personal consumption. That means people ate them, and they sold them. They were made into food and fodder, and food for animals and drink. They contributed to people's health and food security, and to the city's economic vibrancy and its natural beauty. Apples, peaches, plums, pears, cherries, and figs all thrive here. The Baltimore Orchard Project is working to bring back the blessings of abundant fruit to Baltimore. We do that in two ways. One, we harvest fruit that is otherwise going to waste, and we give it to those in need. This year, our first harvest, we harvested 1,800 pounds of fruit, harvested by 50 volunteers, gave it to 12 civic organizations, churches, and schools. Second, we partner with schools, congregations, individuals, and civic organizations to plant more fruit trees, just like you're doing here at your school. This fall, with the gracious and generous partnership of Tree Baltimore, we'll be planting 96 fruit trees at 16 schools and congregations. And this is just our first year. Thank you, Mayor. 10,000 new families and 10,000 more fruit trees. How about that? The trees we plant here today will feed thousands of children tomorrow. One mature fruit tree can produce over 800 pounds of fruit. How many of you can lift 800 pounds at a time? Yeah, it's a lot of fruit. With a healthy combination of good luck and loving care, in a few years, these 40 fruit trees that you plant today can yield 40 days of free fruit for every child in this school every year for decades to come. This is the blessing of fruit trees. They are a gift that one generation gives another. For most of us, all the fruit we eat today comes from trees planted years ago by people we never will know. Here too, these trees planted and nurtured by you, the children, the students of the Great ACE School, will bring forth fruit for you, but also will feed children years from now whom you will never meet. So as we eat fruit today that was gifted to us by those who came before, so we give these trees not only as gifts to you, but also to the thousands of children who come after you tomorrow. So I thank you for your efforts and your work. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Seth Wheeler from the Baltimore Free Farm and Jasmia Williams to students here.
I began farming when I was a young boy. It was just the way that I was raised, and it gave me the opportunity to work with nature in a way that I wouldn't have ordinarily. That's why I do what I'm doing now, is so you guys can see how important it is to see where your food comes from. It shows you something that you wouldn't get to see in the classroom. Over 50% of kids in this country don't know the food in the store is actually grown in the field or on a tree in an orchard. We have the wonderful opportunity to walk in the backyard here and pull fruit right off the trees, take food right out of the ground and eat it if we want. I thank all of the kids here for being a part of this and joining us and showing people that not only is this possible, but it's really easy to do. Growing our own food isn't anywhere near as difficult or as hard as people think it is. Since I've started this journey of growing food locally, organically, sustainably, I've gotten to bond with community members, educational institutions, and I've seen what it does to your lives. I've had some of your parents stop me in the grocery store and thank me for showing you what you're showing them at home and for bringing the good food home. And it means a lot to me. It makes it all worthwhile. What you're going to see back here is lots more food coming out. It's going to be on your trays in the cafeteria. It's going to be in the restaurants around Hamden, and it's going to be on your dinner tables. And I appreciate all your efforts towards that. I want to ask Jasmia, what is your favorite thing about the project here at ACE?
Well, having been part of this project from its inception, I have many favorites. But the most exciting part is being able to reap the rewards of our efforts. Being able to eat something that I can say that I grew is extremely empowering. And now, Mayor Rawlings-Blake, on behalf of Academy for College and Career Education, is a basket for my dog.
Privilege and opportunity to feel proud of yourself. You are more than welcome to bring food down to City Hall anytime that you want. It looks like you have greens growing in the back. You might want to boil them up before you bring them down. I'll take them. Thank you very much. I'm very excited to get this. You're really making me proud of the work that you're doing, and I really appreciate it. I look forward to eating my bounty of vegetables. Thank you.
Video.
Good.
My understanding is there's going to be more land available to farm sit and talk about it.
She got